I grew up by miles of redwood trees, tall, strong, and beautiful. And I learned a couple of things: that redwoods are the tallest trees in the world. They are some of the strongest, most resilient. Storms and fires cannot take them. And they are Latin for the term forever living. But their roots don't even run that deep. They're only that strong, and they only live that long because their roots intertwine with the other surrounding redwood trees. Alone, a redwood won't grow as tall and can sometimes be blown over by the weather. But in a forest of redwoods, underneath the soil's surface, there's millions of roots connected, for they are better together. And when I think of these redwoods, I think of us here. I think of how often we try to go through life by ourselves, the times we've been hurt, the times we've been left, the times we've been damaged by somebody else. And so we decide that we are just fine all alone. But God says, that's not what I created you for. Jesus was passionate about people and community and believed the church was the hope of the world. He calls it a family because here we find our identity. He calls it a temple because we're like pieces that come together to build and hold up one another. He calls it a flock of sheep because we are cared for by the same shepherd. And he calls it a body because we're all different parts and no purpose or function is like the other. He calls it his bride because the church is the love of his life. And he calls it a vine or a garden because we're only productive when we're connected. He says the lost have hope through it. He says the hurt are healed through it. He says we must love and forgive and fight to protect it because the community of the church is his absolute favorite. God says we are better together, so no matter the weather, fight for it. We were made to grow here. We were made to stand tall here. We were made to be a part of this forest here with each other, standing strong against all odds and going through this life together.